Alright, in this video we're going to be talking about how I made 8.2k in one single day with a new product that we tested on this store. And this product, as you can see, is something crazy because we just hit 6.6 fucking ROAS on it, which is insane, right? And I'm going to be showing you guys how you need to test products, what you need to be thinking about, and what is the best way to go about testing products. And I'm going to be giving you guys a full system on how to test product, which is the most important part. So let's just jump straight into it. Now I've got some shit here. Most importantly, what we need to be working with is a system. You cannot be winging it. You cannot find a product today and then be like, oh, I'll just test it tomorrow. Sure, might work for some time, but you can't consistently keep doing that. So what we're going to be doing is, for a brand, you need to have systems in this way. And when you're running a brand, I already assume you're at least running some good numbers, right? If you're running branded dropshipping, you're not doing any numbers. Don't look into what is going to be said in the brand. You're going to be looking into what is being said in the dropshipping, right? Because if you're doing some numbers, this is how you would be running. If you're doing some decent numbers with a brand, you would need employees, right? Employees to make you creatives, to put your creatives online, to do the media buying for you, etc., etc. Customer support and all of these things, because you're already getting sales, right? The best way to manage employees is through Trello and Monday, right? Having their tasks written out for the day, having their tasks written out for the week, making sure they're going to be getting to work, making sure they're going to be completing everything you say. Then SOPs basically means standard operating procedures. So if there's a way you launch a campaign, which is CBO, and you launch it for $50 a day with ad set, no targeting, and then on your creatives you put this text and then shop now, call to action, etc. You make like a video on how to do that, right? And you show that to your employees so they know how to put campaigns online. So that's for the brand. Now, this is the most important one. I'm not going to go super deep into this because in this video we're going to be more talking about a other system that I'm going to be showing you guys. So that's for that. The dropshipping part, however, is where you'll be testing products. Now, with the brand, what is most important is that you're going to be focusing on this creative output and having a full creative system, which is like almost like a funnel, right? This is the most important thing with a brand. You need to be at least testing 15, 20 creatives a day at the beginning, right? If you cannot do that, you should not be going into branded dropshipping. If you cannot make 15, 20 creatives every single time, don't go into it. Or if you don't know how to put a system that can do that for you, don't go into it, because you need to have something like this. Otherwise, you're going to not make it as a brand. Now, with dropshipping, it's more about having a product that's going to be tested, which I will be showing you today. And the reason why we do this, so we can track our products and we can gather data. Now, if you're going to be testing, let's say in fashion, I'll keep it easy. If you're going to be testing in fashion, hoodies, jackets, shoes, sandals, dresses, right? And you see every single time, like in your sheet, which we'll go into in a second, if you see every single time your hoodies are performing the best, right, and your jackets are performing the best, there's a reason for that. If you can find out what that reason is and then reverse engineer it, and then on the next products you do the same with your dresses, with your sandals, or with your shoes or whatever, those products have a higher chance of working too. So those products probably also going to work, which is the reason why we gather the data. And the best way to test this is with a system, a full-blown system that's going to give you every single thing that you need to know with every single product test. So let's go into that right now. Now, what we have here is the blueprint product testing, which is a sheet that I give to all of my students inside of the blueprint. And we also have something else, which is like a product ratings area where I rate their products and give them explanations. Now, best way to understand why a product works is to have an explanation why it's good or why it's bad, right? And if you have that, you can always reverse engineer it again and work on the next ones. What we have here though is something I'll share with you guys today. So here you basically put the name of your product in here. Here you put the link of your product in here from your competitor, right? So you know what their website is, right? And then you have the notes in here, which you can like note, for example, what offer are they running? What kind of creatives are they running? What kind of things do they have on their website? Like, do they have any upsells? Do they have a buy one, get one free offer? Or do they have like a normal bundle? Like, do they have any like free gifts? Whatever it is you want to note down here, you just note it down. And then here at the total cost of product is your cost of goods, all of it, right? The transaction cost, your shipping cost from your supplier, and then the product cost, right? Let's say, for example, that would be somewhere around like, let's say 12 euros or $12. Then here you put the PP ads or your, link of the competitor's website you found, or like the ad you found. So for example, their Facebook ads or PP ads, etc., wherever you found it from, and then a complete link for their website, right? So you can see other products or the whole website that they have. Let's say we sell the product for $39.95. Now, when I click on enter, look what we get. We have a 33.29% profit margin on this if we were to sell it, right? And then we also have the break-even CPA of $27.95. So we can let our ads spend up to $28, right? Or $27 or $27.95 until we are break-even. After that point, we're losing money, right? And then we have our break-even ROAS here, which is 1.43. It says red, but it should be green, but this one is good, right? Why? Because if anything is above 1.5 ROAS, basically, we are profitable, right? 1.43, sure, you'll be profitable. You won't be really profitable with 1.45 or 1.44. So you need to be at least a little bit above it. So you need to have ROAS of 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 2, 3, etc. higher as you can. Then what we can fill in here is if we have a $20 margin, if it has proof of concept. Why are these and clean creatives plus offer? Why these are a must is because this is going to make money for you. And with proof of concept, what we're talking about is if your competitors has been running this for quite some time already, or they've been started this like, let's see, 1 week ago, and they're running it straight away and they're running really good with it. And then the $20 margins, you need to make at least good amount of money, right? If you have lower than $20 margins, don't go into it. And the way I did it also here, you usually put 3x the total cost of goods that you have. So let's say you're, $12 times 3. That would basically come down to 36. I just rounded it up to $39.95, right? Sounds a bit nicer and you have a bit more margin that way. And if you have that with every single product, if it's $3, you sell it for at least like, 29 or 20, $24.95, etc., right? Because that way we have our $20 margin. Otherwise, you're not making much money. So because we still have to spend on ads. And then what we have here is proof of concept that someone else has to have done it before and it's working. So we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. Again, we're trying to do something which is going to make money for us as it has made money for someone else, and we're just going to make it better. Then with clean creatives and an offer, does it have this, right? We have to fill in if it has this, because every single time you have clean creatives, your creatives are very good, very simple, straightforward, attacking the customers, right? With the fashion, for example, showing the product off, right? And then an offer, which is going to be buy one, get one free, or buy one, or buy two, buy three, get 20% off, 30% off, etc. If you have that, good, because we need to have that. Without an offer, without clean creatives, we don't test the product, right? And then we have your high perceived value. Does it have that, right? You fill in yes, no, false, correct, right? If you know if it has high perceived value, you can sell it for a higher price. If you're going to sell a basic white t-shirt with no explanation on it, is it high perceived value? No. Is many people going to buy it? No, not really. If you sell a 3-pack of it, however, that perceived value goes up, right? And then this is for people that are going to be selling something based on emotion, like makeup or skincare, etc. You can fill that in. And then every single time here, you can fill in if you want to test that product, yes or no. And if it follows all of these things, the 20% margin or $20 margin, proof of concept, the clean creatives, and this, if it has yes on that, you go back to the product, take the product link from your competitor's website. You can put that product on your website, put the offer in, right? You also have the offer ready. You can have it in your notes, right? Put that product on your website with the offer, and then the creatives, you make it better than your competitors are making it, or you change, for example, the country you're going to be selling it in. Once you do that, you basically have a bulletproof product that has to work. Now, if it doesn't, it is what it is. We don't stress about it. Why? Because we will have another product that might have another yes. Okay, then we go to this product. Then we test this product, right? If you do it this way, you have every single product written out for yourself, and you know if that product is going to work, yes or no, or if it has a higher chance of working, right? And this is one of the best ways to implement a system so you can always have a product that's going to work. Well, I'm going to give you guys one last thing before we hop off. What I also show every single student of mine, and what I also give every single student of mine, is a custom dashboard. Now, this custom dashboard, I'll just show this only here, right? We have lots of things in here like weekly tasks and everything. But here, the most important thing is your daily to-do list, right? The product research sheet's also in there, but this is the most important thing. Your daily to-do list, here every single day, you fill in how many products you've tested, right? And then here also about other things with the creatives, we have it down there. But every single day you fill in like how many products have I tested. When you do that, when you have every single day where you're working towards a system where you test 3 products a day, and one day you test 1 product, and then the next day you test 2, and then you test 3 products another day, and then you test 1, and then you test nothing, then nothing, 1, 2, 3, nothing. If you have it like that, and you're not getting any results, you know why you're not getting any results. Because you're not testing enough. right? You're only testing 1-2 products a day, and then the total of the week we calculate, and then it's like you only tested 6 products this week. Is like too little. It's not good enough, because we've got guys like they're testing literally 10 products in 2 days or 1 day, sometimes even 1 day, and that way you basically guarantee that you have a system that's going to work. Because if you follow this whole thing, if it all like adheres to these rules, let's say, it's gonna have to work. One of them has to work, right? One of them is gonna hit, and the reason for that is because it adheres to all of the rules that are basically making it a winning product for us. So all of the factors that we have. Now, it's very important to know the consistency is going to get you the results. So you have to make sure every single day you're testing at least 3 products, right? You cannot have one day, 2 the other day, and then 0 the next day, and then 3 again. We cannot have that. Because if you don't do it consistently, you won't get the data, which is what we also talked about. Because this way, what we also have, if you look here, if you have, for example, a hoodie that we tested, and then we had a dress we didn't test, and then we had another dress we didn't test, and then we had another hoodie we did test, jacket we also tested, and then a top we didn't test, and a dress we didn't test, and then another dress we didn't test, a hoodie we did test, right? So for example, this would be yes, no, no, yes, yes, no, and then here, no, yes. If you look at this, you have a clear, like kind of like a clear path of like, okay, hoodies and jackets we test, dresses we don't test, tops we don't test, skirts we don't test. I should be searching for hoodies. And then later on, what you can do, let's say this was a winner, the hoodie, and then let's say the last hoodie was a winner. You're like, okay, we tested jackets. Let's say this was also a jacket, and then this was also a jacket, right? You tested multiple jackets. None of the jackets hit, but like you tested 2 hoodies and both of them hit. You know to look for hoodies on the next one. So you can go back, and this is the most beautiful thing about it. You can literally just analyze your data, and then you can just come up from there, be like, okay, this is what works. And after you just analyze it, you just do more of what works. And once you do more of what works, what you're going to realize is that you're going to find more and more winners, because every single winner was a hoodie, and you find more hoodies that adhere to all of the rules down here, right? Or up here. What you're going to find is another winner, and then another winner, and then it's just going to continue that way. And most importantly, again, you need to make sure you're testing 3 products a day and you're tracking it, right? As I talked about here, track your products, track your data, gather your data. Because if you see 1 week you're testing 5 products a week, and then next week you're testing 12, and it's like something doesn't hit, right? So make sure you're testing everything. And most importantly, again, what this video is about, have a full-on system where you are working on it, everything, right? So that's going to be it for the video. I wanted to show you guys this quickly before we jump into Q4. Implement these systems straight away into your business, right? Implement them straight away into your store, because with this, you're going to make sure you're testing good products, and you're testing often enough, and you can track and see what you're testing. You can get back from that and be like, okay, this is working, that ain't working, I'm going to go this way, right? And the more you do that, you're going to make more winners, you're going to make more money, and you're going to finally, make some good money this Q4. Now, if you ain't making good money yet and you want to make good money this Q4, I do have a coaching that's going to be linked down below in the first link in the description. So go and apply there. If it's something for you, we'll take you on. If it isn't, then I'll see you guys in the next video. So have a good one and have a good Q4. See you next.